multiple targets, so you have a better chance of getting the real hero. But they did do an excellent job calling out 5-position Mars. Kyle, what do you think about that?
I like it. We saw that the Archer strat was very effective in the previous game, only getting the Hoodwink and the DOTA, but now they have a spear thrower as well, so should fit nicely into the composition.
See, I thought you were going to say that the best way to be able to go with an arrow strategy is naturally have some fortifications that you can play around, particularly if you have the high ground. You know, you fire down some arrows from your castle. That's kind of what the arena is. I thought that was the meme you were going for.
I mean, it could work too. We'll have to see the strategy, whether or not he wants to build the wall or fire from behind it. I like the Wyvern second pick, and I understand the Miracle Invoker. It's been tried and true, but it did get a little solved the previous game, and this time OG did have that early save mechanic come out, the Shadow Demon as the counteract to the initiation. Notably, it is a carry axe, so ILTW is going to be the man to watch. You can do some really cool stuff with Wyvern Axe. You can do ancient stacks even without a Vanguard. You just Cold Embrace underneath. You still spin. It's very effective.
Yeah, that was something that I feel like you guys were the ones who pioneered that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Funny you bring that
complexity,
up,
running around 4- and 3-position Axe Wyvern.
Yes, indeed we did. That was the tiebreaker against Fnatic at Epicenter 2016. You know,
do you guys
back in my day, we pulled out our pocket strats for the wild card tournament tiebreaker. You know, we didn't really plan on making it all the way to the finals to get a shot, so had to blow out the big guns early.
Oh, you gotta watch out for that Whirling Death, man. This Timbersaw facing up against 2 strength heroes. I feel like that is a bit of a problem for NIGMA. This Timbersaw could absolutely ruin everybody's game.
Yeah, but I like the Wyvern second pick just because it provides counter initiation. I think that's been the key for both of these games, where the Oracle of No Tail just kind of secures the win for OG previously. Yeah, sure, they were ahead, but you saw Thompson did get caught. He just didn't die, didn't even get threatened because No Tail was just casting W and then healing him up. Like, that's the secret, it feels like so far. So now both teams with that save mechanic will be a lot harder for either side to find a fortuitous initiation.
Why do you think he went Caustic Finale level 1 on Mind Controls? He now has Burrow Strike level 2, turns around, stuns up No Tail, but he's got to be careful because Sumail kind of has a free situation where he's just throwing out constant hits.
Yeah, it's definitely better suited to pressuring melee heroes.
Yeah.
Maybe they thought they'd be able to, because you see, it's a little weird when GH starts with the Bassi, right? So you would have assumed, okay, that's because Mind Control is going to be casting stun right off the bat.
Yeah, or even like just getting Sandstorm and being able to dodge Medusa hits in some of this situation. Goes through the big tree. It's not, technically those things aren't actually trees for when it comes to spears and such things. Mind Control is going to live once again, but again and again and again, he's forced out of lane and is just not happy with this situation. I mean, if this lane isn't going well and Timbersaw is up against 2 strength heroes top, I imagine Seb is going to be able to win that, though currently Axe is doing pretty okay for himself.
The other person doing okay, and this is what we saw at the major as well, right? Because you can't pressure a safe lane Axe. He's just going to spin, push creep waves into you and spam Battle Hunger, and eventually they just trade farm, but eventually LTW, he'll have a Vanguard, and then he just doesn't die. The matchup that I'm curious about mid is going much better for Miracle. 17-3 versus 13-2. He was absolutely dumpstered in the previous game. So this is just a better matchup, I suppose. He can actually shove the wave, which is what you have to be able to do against Hoodwink. Otherwise, you're just going to get traded to death. Nice bushwhack.
The bushwhack barely grabs him, and Kuro should be dying here as there's nowhere really to run to. Thompson finishes him off with the acorn shot to get first blood.
Bottom lane is, oh my, I didn't realize. 3, this is a disaster.
Yeah. They're going to have to do some creep pulling shenanigans. Maybe this is why he got Caustic Finale. They were planning on doing this a lot earlier, but
I think it's Caustic.
For whatever reason.
It's not a bad build. I'm a believer in Caustic. I think Sand King should be stealing it more often, but not into Medusa.
Yeah,
Like,
not
of
against
all the
range
heroes.
cores, right? Yeah,
Not just range cores that can push the lane for free.
right. Oh,
Well,
Thompson accidentally using the acorn shot on Miracle rather than dropping the tree. They are going to be able to get the disruption. No abilities are up for Thompson, though, so he's got to run away. Acorn shot is back up, though, and the Shadow Poison is there. Miracle, they're going to finish him off with this Acorn. It pops, and now GH is going to try and get the rebuttal kill on Soxa, but he doesn't have enough damage unless the Splinter Blast. Oh, barely enough. He gets it.
big for GH. Thompson's going to swipe the other water rune. I love these water runes. It's so... The mid matchup... Yeah, it's unlosable, but man, when you get ahead in the lane and you just grab a couple of water runes, this feels so good. You can immediately make a move towards top, but went instead.
This pure damage of ILTW is actually doing a good amount of work against Timbersaw. I thought this would be better for Timber than it actually is, but he's having a hard time running down. They actually are going to be able to get the kill. ILTW gets a spin off just at the right time. Stacks of Shadow Poison are going up, but even at 5 stacks, it's not going to be enough to kill the Axe per se. Yeah. He does get a little bit low, though.
I mean, it's kind of cool that when you get your stat loss debuff from the Timbersaw, it actually makes the Ring of Health more effective because you have a lower health pool to regen into. And Timber, very much an attrition hero, and very tough to do that with all the regen LTW's got built in. MC, he is just flirting with disaster.
His raindrop's already been used, so the spear does its full amount of damage, but not quite enough to get the kill. Kuro spotting out this stack that's going on, but again, maybe caught as Thompson's going to rotate over. Meanwhile, LTW, low HP earlier from the Shadow Poison, doesn't respect the Timbersaw enough. Kuro does get caught. They're going to send up Disruption into a Sharpshooter, and that'll be enough to blow him up. Soxa takes the last hit, but Miracle is going to be able to turn things back around. Support for support. Bottom lane, Mind Control going to be saved by the Cold Embrace ever so barely. Samael left with no mana and hardly any health.
The Timber... Seb wasn't level 6 when he killed...
Yeah, I think he just walked at him and probably Whirling Deathed him twice. He probably just kept running at him. Samael, oh, he was greedy and coming back to lane like that. Mind Control's going to punish that greed and does manage to stay alive. Soxa coming back in, though. Mind Control, if he shows up at the wrong time, oh no, a missed Burrow Strike directly into the Shadow Poison, and he immediately dies. GH, if Soxa can land the rest of these Shadow Poisons, he read that GH was going to try for the juke, but was slightly off the mark twice in a row. The last one does manage to land, but 3 ticks is not enough. Thompson going for a shot, but Miracle not going to be hit by the sharpshooter that would have killed him.
Very interesting plays, Cap. NIGMA just getting a bit greedy down bottom. Killing the Deuce is ideal, but I don't know if you want to risk your life for a support. Seb, once again, having a nice performance. Top net worth, and this is the sort of Timber game you'll love to see. You're pushing tier 1 with the first catapult. You're going to shove down the wave, and now you can pretty much go anywhere, do anything. Fears nothing. You know, maybe an Orchid on Storm would threaten him, but that's a ways away.
Seriously, what a turnaround from like him dying and then coming back to lane and killing ILTW. He just owned the lane from there on out. Now he's a whole level of experience ahead of the carry of NIGMA, and nobody can really challenge him until Storm Spirit. I don't know, is Storm gonna get like Orchid in this game?
I'm not sure. Like, how I have no idea how he killed ILT, because I saw ILTW salving, so he was full HP. He just got clicked to it. You're right, the Orb of Venom. That must have done it.
Yeah,
really nice pickup.
Whirling Death and keeps following him. Okay. They're gonna disruption, but the timing is a little off. Either way, I think Miracle lives through that. Sharpshooter doesn't do that much damage.
And there's a big disparity. It's just the offlaners. You know, the Sand King doesn't feel like a real hero at the moment. And, you know, EU definitely deserve a bit of criticism, but they should not try to copy NA Dota when it comes to the offlane Sand King. It doesn't work for anybody, except half the time for EG. And MC really feeling the pain of this lane.
Are you talking about a build, or are you talking about just in general?
In general, offlane Sand King. It just...
Okay.
It just never really feels good. And MC. Oh, if you could get a stun epi. Sumail, Spidey senses, nice TP out.
Yeah, they after that kill on No Tail, they revealed the arcane rune, and then Storm Spirit just kind of didn't show anywhere on map. And I think Sumail is saying, okay, this risk is not worth it anymore. I've got plenty to do in the triangle. After all, they stacked it up a whole lot for him. So we'll probably, if we could see that graph, actually, the difference between the stacks. I'm going to assume the Shadow Demon is able to stay ahead, but only by one camp. Axe and Winter Wyvern actually doing a good job of stacking for themselves. So,
yep. It's a really smart move from OG. You know, there's no reason. Hang on.
Percentage-based damage onto an Undying is not enough. And Seb, a little bit low on mana, but does have enough to be able to get at least 1 or 2 Timber Chains back. Miracle CP is going to be wasted here.
So it's a really nice move just to abandon bot. And a lot of times you'll get this temptation when you're owning an offlaner. You want to stay there. You want to keep crushing him. But Sand King is an active hero. He has to be involved in fights. And now you've left him in the dead lane. Sure, he'll recover. But if you look, OG now populating the entire top half of the map. So they're still farming 2 waves. And DOTA just rotates to farming Ancients. Mind Control, sure, he's getting farm. But his hero is the only killer on the side of Team NIGMA. So you don't really care about net worth on his side. If he's showing in lane, it means he's not killing heroes. Your Medusa's completely unthreatened, and you'll be able to start eking out a pretty sizable net worth lead.
You don't think it's worth it for even like one of the supports to go bottom lane and collect some of the experience that
no,
is just being given away?
It's just Seb, and this is a nice move as well, because this allows him to then leave the wave top that was coming into tower for his DOTA, and he'll now go and just be the bait. Because look, you're right, you don't want to just give totally free lanes away if you can help it, but this is now a Timber Saw with a hood. So if you really want to make a move down here as Team NIGMA, you're going to need to bring at least 4 heroes.
Yeah. And this is something that we've seen from so many Timber Saws when they win the lane. It was a problem from last game. Timber Saw wins his lane, and then he takes that opposing safe lane tower. He can save his own safe lane tower by just kind of parking himself there, as you said, because he has a hood, because he has a raindrop. He is super tanky, very hard to kill. And OG could always, if they wanted to, counter-rotate if the Timber Saw ever gets gone on. So OG, as a result of that 1 tower leader, up by a small amount of net worth, just a simple 1k lead, nothing major.
Thompson going for a different build. No Maelstrom, just rushing the Aghanims. Banking, I believe, on Sumail as the hard carry. Also can be afforded more of this high spell damage kind of assassin style, because his Timber Saw will also scale pretty well. No Tail, he is a support, but he has Arena ready. They got to be cautious about the Tombstone.
The boomerang, it increases spell damage, not magic damage. So it means Timber Saw will actually do a lot more, even though a lot of his is pure damage. So they're going to be able to, cutting down the tree, but it still doesn't matter. That's going to be enough to be able to kill the Undying. They threw out the arena. They do have this Mars getting a little bit low, but at the same time, Miracle's looking to be able to kill Soxa. Disruption bought a little bit of time, but eventually he comes back and dies. ILTW looking for the chop, does manage to get it onto No Tail, uses that movement speed to try and run away. Once again, the Chakram cutting down the tree. The Thompson was looking to be able to connect with a bushwhack. Now he's going to be pulled back, but they got to be careful of this double damage. Miracle's low on mana. Miracle is going to get run down. Miracle totally underestimated either his damage or Thompson's.
I think he just underestimated. He had no mana, Cap. If he's a full mana Storm, sure, that's a great play, but he goes in not realizing, like, there's no Wyvern Curse anymore. ILTW's not in range. There's just no damage there. And adding insult to injury. Now this is what I was waiting for, Cap. The voice lines. OG have been very silent for the last couple, for all of last season and so far this tournament, but coming alive even after a lost fight. But this is still what you kind of want to see from them. Actually, one fight rather.
Yeah. And game 3 with elimination on the line with TI qualifiers. Within spitting distance here, Thompson is going to be caught by a Burrow Strike Epicenter. No Tail tries to create some space for him, but only does more harm than good as the Splinter Blast helps to kill Thompson. No Tail being run down by ILTW right now. Spear that is going to whiff. Seb running some interception here, but at the same time, No Tail does manage to get grabbed. The Miracle's going to make the long jump over to be able to finish off that support. Samael is here, but a Winter's Curse is going to be able to stop his damage. Mind Control resetting up. Two-man Burrow Strike. Beautifully done by NIGMA as they respond to OG's aggression with a bit of moves from their own. Now looking to be able to run down Soxa next, as Miracle has just enough mana to put a few more hits of damage on him. ILTW not even needing the Culling Blade. GH keeping himself alive with the Cold Embrace. Meanwhile, can he get away? Seb's got the mana. He's going to go for a TP out with a Chakram pullback, and one punch is enough for Seb to claim the double kill. Back over to Miracle, who has no mana.
He's still here.
He's not getting out of here. He tried to TP and got caught. Thompson hit him with a bushwhack to stop his TP. Well played.
Well played indeed. And I honestly can't believe that fight went so well for Team NIGMA. They had no tombstone. It had been dropped on the high ground. The zip from so far from Miracle, and yet they just have the damage. Credit to Mind Control. You know, he had an awful start to this game, but he's got a Blink Dagger. And excellent Curse follows up with the secondary stun from MC, as Timbersaw doing some significant deforestation. Will not want to fight in that area anytime soon.
Yeah, and he's out of mana now. Thompson, nice use of the sharpshooter to get himself over the cliff there. If he had tried to go around that hump and down the ramp, he likely would have died and may still die. In fact, Kuro's going to be able to hit that one punch that slows him down so much. No Tail, beautiful positioning of the arena here, locking out two heroes and pinning in. Mind Control to the walls, but Miracle still able to catch up. Not quite enough as he's stuck inside the Winter's Curse. Disruption, can Thompson get away? No, denied by the Burrow Strike from Mind Control. It will cost him his life though. Miracle running a bit low on mana. He needs to be able to jump away. He's got the Purge on him. Does he have enough HP to be able to survive TP out? They just need a little bit more. The Spear runs him over. No Tail with the big moves on the 5 position. Mars is helping OG win this game.
Yeah, this is making Mars 5 look viable, Cap, because it's just the spells. Who cares about his farm? What an arena. And yet isn't effective the entire time, but that curse placement, unfortunate. You saw it actually save Thompson for a time. So they had to wait, and it was about a couple of seconds where Team NIGMA, they weren't actually looking for extra heroes. They were just camping Thompson. We're going to see it run back real quick. So first, the incredible arena to keep Thompson alive for just an extra couple of moments. And you're going to see in just a moment, Thompson, he's going to die. He is dead here. And then the curse pulls him in. ILTW checks, doesn't have the damage to get the immediate execution from the Culling Blade. So instead, the fight turns against them. And Sumail now, very farmed. Unfortunate for Miracle, he's had a couple really nice team fights, but he's dying at the end of them. So his net worth really struggling.
Also, I saw ILTW use the Culling Blade on Thompson, but I'm not sure if it's because it was level 1 Culling Blade at the time. Because if it was level 2, it should definitely have killed him. Can you not kill people with Culling Blade under Winter's Curse and Vulnerability?
No, you can. I think he canceled it.
Really?
I just don't, yeah, because I believe it was still level 1 at the time. If it was level 2, then yeah, you're right. You just kill him, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Axe kills through everything.
That's really weird. I swear to God, I thought I saw him pull the trigger on that, because then I saw his ultimate was on cooldown, but No Tail, TPing out. Oh, it's not good enough. The Culling Blade catches him out. Soxa got to be run down by the Epicenter as well. The 2 supports on OG do die, but the cores are still happily farming away, not really being interrupted one bit. All right, we're gonna see that again. Culling Blade, 265.
No, he's level 11. He's level 11, Cap.
Okay.
So it's 250 for the insta kill. Unfortunately,
Ow.
I thought he canceled it, but he actually just uses it, even though Thompson, maybe just not recognizing he'd been cursed, expecting a little extra damage would have been tapped in, but you know, big issue for NIGMA right now is they have no method of reducing healing or regen. And Seb is doubling down on that. He went Hood, now right into Sanj, Kaya to follow, and they can't reduce his healing. So until somebody grabs a vessel on the side of Team NIGMA, they're gonna have some serious issues. And Mind Control, I thought he'd be going for it. No, he's rushing BKB. Holy Locket on GH. I think that is the right move, but somebody just needs a vessel.
BKB, first item Sand King. That's well, second item after the blink, but still, that's like, that's kind of weird. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I'll tell you how to feel, Cap. Unsure.
Well, at least he guarantees he gets off his epicenter, at least. So there's always that. Aghanim Scepter is going to be built for our Medusa. And level 15, so still a while before we see that level 20 talent. Boomerang is complete for the Hoodwink, so look for that increased nuke. A little bit of status resistance removed, as well as increasing spell damage.
They do have the Manta, though, on ILTW, so the lanes will start to be pressured. OG make the smoke. Would love a fight into a Roche opportunity, but Kuro should know. You got to be careful fighting into a high ground tombstone. It's the one fear for OG. Seb is immortal, though, so yeah, just dive right in.
Yeah, that's kind of what he's doing right now. His smoke breaks, but he's being a bit fearless. And apparently just running around in circles. I'm seeing his map icon just run around in circles. I was like, is he Yules? No, that's just Seb having a little bit of fun. And kind of taunting and trying to bait NIGMA to go on to him, but they're not taking that thus far.
The thing, I mean, the pure damage from Axe spins post shard could be a threat. Hang on.
They do manage to get initiation onto the Mars. That is a much better pickoff for NIGMA. The Kaya and the Sange completed for Seb, making him even harder to deal with and also amplifying his spell damage, which we already had the Boomerang in there as well.
He's not
Seb,
gonna die.
I think, it's actually going to turn into a legit semi-carry when it comes to the damage output with this combo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's nuts right now. And I didn't realize, I for some reason had thought Boomerang from the Aghanims on Hoodwink was a magic damage, but yeah, spell damage. That is very significant. Does anything else do that with the exception of Veil and I guess like Bloodseeker?
Not that I can immediately think of. There's always something though. Mind control has to run and hide away from Seb, who's just kind of a terror right now. 5,000 net worth lead for OG as they go for a 3-man smoke up behind Seb and his aggressive posturing. They have the Aghanim Scepter done on the Medusa. This is why they're either going to find a pickoff and do Roshan, and if the pickoff doesn't present itself, they're going to try for Roshan by itself. But NIGMA are wise to this maneuver. A 4-man smoke from them. Going to go around Seb's Timbersaw. ILTW with the smoke breaking. Doesn't immediately jump forward. Ket jumps now, but he doesn't catch anything. Dorina going out, but a beautiful burrow strike in from Mind Control delays so much. Miracle, oh, the bushwhack catching Miracle, but he's still going to be okay. Jumps onto Saksa, not going to be good enough. The Tombstone being dealt with during that Stone Gaze. Still trying to go for the Shadow Demon, but Miracle has used everything he has to be able to get that kill. And now the rest of OG have to be able to operate without that hero playing out. ILTW being chased down by Seb. Boomerang on him. Look for the damage from Seb as soon as they catch up.
Oh, back in!
Boy, what? He blinked back in to try and kill them. That would have been the ballsiest fucking play I'd ever seen. ILTW doesn't get anything for it.
That is a man who should be playing carry Axe, though, Cap. It is not for the faint of heart. I applaud the decision. To be a little quicker on the Culling Blade, he might have got both. And if he had his shard, Cap, that's the issue. NIGMA, they need the shard on the Axe. That's the timing. Yeah, he has the immediate execute, I think, on No Tail. Oh, but the snake stones him.
Ah. That Aghanim Scepter coming in very clutch for OG. And as a result, they win the fight, but they're not able to do Roshan, though.
It's just really crazy. You know, Medusa just so farmed. You know, Sumail, no Midas necessary. Incredibly ahead. 300 CS approaching 23 minutes into the game.
You can't stop touching that Midas, can you?
No. Well, I'm thankful Sumail did. But, you know, we'll just move on. Seb,
you know, Kyle is just a dog with a bone, you know? He's never going to let that one go. 14-16, OG looking very good for this game 3. Again, this is that elimination match for ESL 1 Summer. And we also had the TI Western qualifiers are going to be coming up pretty soon, I believe. I think they're maybe the third one. So it's on the latter half of the schedule. But this is two of the teams that you're expecting to see in the finals, and only one of them can go to TI.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to touch that one either, Cap.
Go away. You think Liquid's going to be going through?
Well,
Tundra? Viking GG? I mean, there's a lot of good teams.
Oh, Miracle? Oh, okay. Well,
I'm not quite sure what that was for No Tail, but a little bit of miss. Okay, still gets the snake, but there's no real follow-up to it. Seb is just in right now, and maybe he's overextended himself. They're gonna jump onto him, throw out the magic damage. Disruption does help him for a second. Miracle's gotta be careful. Winter's Curse going down. It's gonna be able to buy the Timbersaw a little bit of time to be able to work with here. The tomb is out, the zombies are building up, and Seb is not finding the trees to be able to connect to right now, but Samael is standing and putting out the damage. Thompson, though, not able to have the same kind of survivability. They are picking apart the cores of OG right now and ignoring the Medusa. Mind Control, two-man Burrow Strike once again, finding these disables. No Tail putting ILTW down into low ground, but this is a one fight for NIGMA. If anything, ILTW wants to be able to pursue these heroes, as once again, a two-man Burrow Strike for Mind Control. This guy has totally disrupted anything that OG wanted to do in that fight. Just beautiful. Stun after stun after stun from him.
Yeah, he is certainly, what a wild fight. This is very reminiscent of the first game where somehow Team NIGMA win a fight that they don't have any business even taking. Miracle starting this engagement, half HP, half mana. They're initiating on Seb, who just doesn't die. He's going to be full health almost as he comes out of it. But LTW, huge call. That's the shard timing. That's where all this damage suddenly came from. And Seb can't find a tree to save his life. Unfortunately, neither can No Tail.
Oh, Sharpshooter Thompson's gonna get picked off again here. They've got the fresh Orchid on Miracle. Will make it so Thompson has no way out of here. And Mind Control, not very healthy, but is still looking for kills. As he knows that NIGMA with the Aegis feels good about fighting.
No Tail has won so many tournaments in so many cities. He's never had trouble finding trees. And yet this fight, 2 spears just taking people nowhere. And Seb, you know, the Timber Chain is the damage of the combo. You get in, you get a free Q off, and suddenly Miracle with an Aegis now. This is troubling.
Pulling him back in again, the Orchid. Oh, that Mystic Snake does a lot. Miracle doesn't have a way to be able to jump out of this. The first life of the Storm Spirit may be forfeit here, but never mind. Just a beautiful Winter's Curse from GH. Allows him to be able to keep the Aegis intact. And
we saw this at the Major, Cap. The Axe carry, it's a bit awkward, and you keep waiting for it to fall off. And I'm not even sure anymore if it does. Yeah,
it doesn't. I mean, it's pure
so
damage,
good,
right?
Yeah. Like, it's also the spin proc chance. Like, it goes up not just when you're attacked, but also on your attacks. So suddenly you get, like, he just soloed the Shadow Demon at the start of that last fight. And if he can continue to find Saksa, OG are in trouble because they don't really have any save outside of him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, pure damage just always kind of scales through the game, and the fact that Axe can build attack speed to make it so the pure damage comes out even more often is we're going to watch Saksa here die. I believe this is a dieback from him as well, because he bought back in that last team fight. So he is going to be gone for a bit of time. Or maybe he already lost his dieback death time. Or Miracle fighting into the Mars once again with this Orchid. He can pick apart the supports. And Samael, this Aghanim Scepter just doesn't really seem like the impact that he had on the Medusa before was just raw damage. But in this Aghanim's build, they're just ignoring him the entire time.
Pretty much. It's the right way to play it too, based on how these fights have gone. And if you ignore the Medusa, the rest of his team is very easy to take down. And Thompson maybe overdoing it on the meme style, because the rush Aghanim is now into Sanj Kaya. Like, he doesn't have that same net worth staying power. And at first I liked it when it felt like Dusa was going to be able to solo carry this, but as you said, having some issues now finding damage output. The Shivas on Miracle is going to be huge. It's actually a bigger answer to the Timbersaw than even just a damage item would be, because of the limitation, 25% reduction on the regen, the healing, lifesteal, etc.
Mind Control again. finding an opening, finding a pickoff on No Tail. The rest of NIGMA, they're very ready to fight. So anybody that gets initiated on, OG pretty much just let them die. And you can see they're playing the side of the maps right now. You've got Saksa pushing out bottom. NIGMA's going to run at him. Thompson is hiding in the trees at top lane, pushing out that side lane as well.
And remember, Axe is the only hero we've seen in all 3 games of this series. It's won both so far, and it's looking pretty good in the third. So if there's anything to take away, you know, may or may not be a patch, but those of you, and we're probably looking at a lot of the Dota community tuning into this match, this Axe has looked fantastic, both at the major and in the hands of whoever's playing it in this series. And I'll be honest, not many heroes have looked good when EU teams play them. I'll just come out and say it. But Axe has been a force.
Yeah, he certainly has. Showed well at the major, showing here now at ESL 1 Summer. Feels like all the other regions are trying to adopt this pickup as quick as possible because they recognize this is not a meme. This has staying power. It's going to be around unless it gets massively nerfed by a patch that we don't necessarily know is coming. It's just, you know.
And I think a big part of it too is that it gives attack speed, like a significant amount. When you consider a Hyperstone is 60, Shard is 35. So it effectively, it nearly pays for itself. Hyperstone 2,000 gold, Shard 1,400. It's almost paying for itself just based on the attack speed it gives alone, not just the fact that it's also increased proc chance and on attack.
Battle Hunger and the illusions are almost enough to kill Saksa. He does manage to TP away. Smart move by him. And it does buy OG a little bit more time to be able to get that Scotty. That Scotty, which he does not have because his courier died earlier. They're currently waiting on the ultimate orb. Miracle is actually going to go on a Seb here with the Orchid and the Burrow Strike. May not be enough damage, though. The Spear catching him, and Miracle does get caught by the Mystic Snake. Still alive, though. The Winter's Curse resetting the team fight. They're going to get the Tombstone out. And now comes the turn. Now comes the Burrow Strike, and they are chopping down OG members one by one, and none of them have buyback.
That was insane. The Undying, an unspoken hero, the spell, or rather damage amplification, just deleting heroes with the assistance of his squad.
Yeah, seriously.
What a curse, though.
Or GH, excuse me, getting these great Winter's Curses every single time, allowing his whole team to be able to set up. Plus, he has the Shard. So you saw that Splinter Blast go off. That's because he comes off of the Cold Embrace that he threw down. And we're going to see that a number of times here as they start sieging the high ground with an Axe on front, a Cold Embrace behind him, and OG with no answers to either. Long range zip, the Aegis has expired, but it's just enough mana for him to be able to catch Thompson in the act of split pushing.
I mean, all I'm going to say about this one so far is GH, God. Miracle also a hell of a performance on Storm. Consider almost all of his deaths were in the initial like 10-15 minutes. Like, he's been nearly perfect since then. And even his deaths, like, he was helping his team win fights.
ILTW gonna be able to save his support here. Never mind, the Spear goes down. Mind Control is able to at least land a Burrow Strike, and GH will survive. Cold embracing himself. Everybody from NIGMA playing around each other, making sure there are no free picks available to OG at any time.
I don't know how you stop them now, Cap. They just have way too much catch. OG, their support duo is pretty much all they've got. And the previous game, Thompson on the Hoodwink was able to pretty much play as he wished, but this time feeling a lot of pressure. Not safe in the trees.
As a core, it is, I think, rather easily countered by a handful of heroes, and heroes like Spirit Breaker, or in this case Storm Spirit, who were able to just kind of hunt him down constantly. He's not able to play that back line the way they want to. It makes it look like an entirely different hero to Game 2 that we watched.
And we heard from teams at the major, Medusa is a dead hero, but, you know, we do have some trouble reading or getting the messages. over here in Western Europe. And we saw yesterday 2 games of Medusa, 2 losses. Today, Sumail loses on Dusa, wins on Drow. Not much time to bring this one back.
Shiva's
once again.
spear goes out, but Miracle managed to dodge it and goes straight for Saksa. Thankfully, the Eon disc will manage to keep him alive, but another Winner's Curse going out. Disruption actually being able to save Thompson for a bit. When he comes back, though, he's just going to go straight into a 2-man Burrow Strike again. Thompson falls to start the team fight, but Zeb does get at some seriously good damage as Kuro is about to fall here. Another missed Timber Chain, though, as Miracle has cleaned up the back line, finishing off Saksa. Now he goes for the pull back, and look at this ILTW axe go. BKB and just runs at Heroes, finishes off Seb with a cooling plate. Next up is going to be No Tail, slowed down by the Shivas. Miracle's got that one. Seb comes back with a buyback, trying to save Sumail here, but he doesn't have any disables. A beautiful Mystic Snake, though. Cold Embrace going out, saving Miracle for a time, but the other two are dangerously low. Miracle needs to be able to jump away right now. Does manage to kill the Mars first before he zips away, but right into the hands of Seb, who now looks to be able to run down Kuro. NIGMA. They had this team fight won, but they underestimated OG as they turn around on the high ground and finish the fight.
Yeah, an absorption buyback from No Tail. Immediately dies again, but he did get a lot of mana used by Miracle. So Seb then able to clean up. You know, watch this. Like, just really the buyback coming in huge. Seb is just all of the damage. Sumail with a nice snake to stone, and you're gonna watch No Tail's appearance. He comes in, he's ready, he's about to use his spells, and then he's orchided, and he gets killed without casting one. But now Miracle out of mana, and a little swing by from Seb finishes him off. So ultimately, I think 5 position, team captain, you're gonna say that's worth.
Yeah, absolutely. And NIGMA certainly learning a lesson there and respecting the Aghanim Scepter level 20 talent Medusa a little bit more. When they do finally decide to focus on her, they got to be careful of what a huge turnaround that snake can be.
Roshan will be the next big engagement. It's a lot closer than it felt like for a while, Cap. And bear in mind, a lot of the net worth, I think it was Seb himself who said that, you know, as observers, casters, we really don't know what we're talking about because we always look too much into the net worth. And most of the time I would agree, because in this case specifically, Sumail, he is a huge soak, but even with these items, this fresh Daedalus, it still feel like his damage output is a bit limited. And Seb, even with 8-9k less net worth, is actually dealing significantly more in the team fights. But LTW is chasing. They know Seb has no buyback.
Yeah, they're going to go for him. Burrow Strike forward, complete whiff there from Mind Control. Not able to grab anything, but ILTW with the call is going on to Sumail. The Manta Illusions are spinning Sumail down to about half, but at the same time, Miracle got speared in. They caught him. ILTW is trying to stay on top of Thompson right now, but Thompson is going to be able to bushwhack him over to the side. This time around, it's OG who win the start of the fight right away, and NIGMA are the ones using the buybacks.
They just ran up the high ground with no vision, Cap. NIGMA have got to be the most feast or famine squad. They looked fantastic the whole mid game, just routing OG across the map, and that just felt like almost a panic smoke. Like Mind Control just blinked blindly uphill.
Yeah, he
had ran into the timber.
Strike up. Yeah, that was wild.
And Miracle went in, but as you said, caught a spear and just straight up dies and buys back, sure, but suddenly that 4K net worth lead is evaporated, firmly in OG's control now as Roshan spawns. I'm not used to seeing graphs like this in Dota 2, Cap.
Man, goes all the way back to a very even game as OG are going to be able to get the Aegis, so probably even in their favor, as we'll see how they manage to make use of both the Aegis cheese and even the Shard, which for Sumail would probably feel pretty good to be able to have that extra snake. Yeah, there he goes. He's the one to grab it. Thompson gets the cheese. Daedalus complete. Satanic up next for Sumail. He's really getting into that full-on hard carry Medusa status. Is level 25 here as well. Hell, even the further levels, if he can get all the way up to level 29, level 30.
I mean, I'm just happy to see him at 25, Cap. They took the critical engagement in that first game. He was 24, like 0.95. And either way he goes, it's such an incredible power spike.
Seb immediately popping the BKB. The epicenter is going to be canceled as NIGMA find their initiation is not what they wanted. As ILTW goes down, he's dead for a minute and a half now. And this is an opportunity for OG to be able to take over the game while he's dead.
And so far, OG, they're at a point now. You know, credit to Kuro's Undying for a great performance earlier on, but the hero definitely starting to fall off now. He does not have the staying power to get up close and personal, make the best use of his ultimate amplification.
Wow, he's got an Aghanim Scepter on Undying?
And a shard, yeah.
Yeah, seriously, if he could stay alive in these team fights and get off multiple decays, especially now that he's got the cooldown, I was not paying attention to his net worth at all.
Yeah, he's pretty huge. It's still definitely anybody's game. Like, the net worth, firmly in favor of OG. They've got the edge, but they had an edge in the earlier portion of the game, too. NIGMA still have that initiation advantage and the Wyvern potential. It's such a great combo if you can get a big curse into a taunt. Kuro's going to just start spamming decay on this Timber. You got to be very careful as Seb.
Yeah.
2.5 second CD.
That's a really good high ground defense ability right there, and sure enough, it is enough to force OG back as 10 more seconds left on ILTW. They do also now have an Aghanim Scepter for the Storm Spirit, so look for that big zip and that big AoE control. A heart on the Timbersaw. Seb continuing to play kamikaze with his sheer tankiness.
Miracle has no BKB though.
They're gonna go for him. They're gonna go for the Timbersaw. They're actually gonna try and burst him down. They just might be able to do. He's already down to half health. No Tail is gonna be caught as well, dodging away from the Bushwhack. Yule Scepter going up, but No Tail almost falling. Disruption actually bails him out for a second there. No Tail is not dead just yet. Winter's Curse pulling him in onto Thompson. Thompson though, they want to be able to go for Miracle. Miracle slowed down. He is out of mana. He's dead, gone for 2 minutes. He just ran out of mana like that, and the rest of NIGMA are going to be relatively easy to run down. Anybody who's still here, GH blinking away into the trees. He's desperately trying to cut the creep wave, which he does with both the Splinter Blast as well as the Cold Embrace, but unfortunately for him, another one is on its way. They're going to have to find a way to stall this game out for another minute and a half.
Look, the Axe Eluder. Oh, no, it's going to fade. It's going to fade. I thought they were going to be able to cut one more. This wave, this is it. And they know for a fact there's no Miracle. He died once again hunting No Tail, Cap. Yep. Great saves. OG, they don't save their captain, but they keep him alive long enough to utilize Miracle's entire mana pool, and he's just dead.
They killed the creep wave. Backdoor protection should be coming up relatively soon, but the next creep wave is on its way. Nobody's there to be able to intercept. One lane of barracks gone.
They don't go.
NIGMA.
They could go for Throne.
They could go for Throne, but they're choosing not to right now. No Tail does manage to find ILTW. The carry Axe is not here. Thompson's going to be able to catch up to him. ILTW popping his BKB and TPing out. This makes it even harder now for OG to go for that Throne, as they don't have all their heroes here. Instead, they're just going to try and get 2 lanes of barracks, it seems, as they respect the ability of NIGMA to hold and defend, even without Miracle.
God, sometimes I wish I didn't have to cast Cap so I could just be a chatter in Twitch, because they must be having a ton of fun with this one, just like us. And oh my God, ILTW.
Gotta be careful, the Soul Catcher. ILTW slowed down. The Cold Embrace is gonna be there, but at the same time, so is the Timbersaw. As soon as he comes back from that Winter's Curse, a Whirling Death is gonna do a big amount of hurt. There goes the Bushwhack, and he's dead. Our Sharpshooter through to the back line, hit the Winter Wyvern, but they're gonna go for Kuro first. Again, he dies to Whirling Death. It is too much damage with that level 25 talent. Mind Control is, I think he was trying to cut creep waves or something. He pops a BKB, but now he's slowed down to a crawl. Cold Embrace again, but at the same time, there's all this setup from OG. They do have Miracle back, and they do have 2 buybacks, but it's gonna be a 4 versus 5. So Male's Aegis does run out, but he's looking to end the game. Divine Rapier is on its way on the Courier right now.
Why did they do that? Cap Storm was coming up soon. They'd already lost 2 racks. They were cutting waves so well. Now Throne's exposed. It's gonna be a 4-on-5 fight for the game against Rapier. No curse.
Trying to hold on to ILTW's buyback. They see this Divine Rapier. GH, gotta be careful. Eon Disc does protect him. No Tail, zoning out the heroes with the arena. But, oh, there's the miracle jump. Managed to grab 3 with the Undying Tombstone on top. Sumail, though, they've got to be careful of that damage. He's not dying anytime soon. ILTW does manage to get the call onto the Mars. The throne, it's not being hit right now. Sumail is just being kited about. He has to be able to flicker himself out of here. Now he's being slowed down. Sox is down next. Kuro, he's catching up. Sumail's out of mana. Miracle's back and forth. He flickers over to the side. Sumail needs the help. Winter's Curse being put onto him, but they do manage to cut down the Undying. 2 dead. A call immediately afterwards from ILTW. They need to be able to kill this. Medusa is almost dead. Sumail, disruption save. He's caught by the bushwhack. A shot goes out. Miracle. He's trying to stay alive, but the Divine Rapier is down, and that is it. He stays alive through all of that, does manage to go for the throne now. Miracle, just a happy boy throwing out his AoE disables, but he cannot stop OG with all of those saves, keeping Sumail alive.